TMCnet at NextCom 2008.
Good afternoon, welcome again. I'm Erik Linask coming at you from NextCom 2008, where I'm joined today, this afternoon, by Mark Spencer, founder and CTO of Digium. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you.
So obviously everybody's been talking lately, a couple of things, unified communications is big on everybody's mind. So how has the UC movement impacted open source movement as well as Asterisk, that kind of thing?
Okay. Well, open source and especially Asterisk is particularly powerful in unified communications because there's so many tools that are available as open source, and the very nature of the software being available as open source allows that integration to take place more easily. We have a new product called Switchbox that we recently acquired, which integrates Asterisk with a variety of other tools and Web 2.0 technologies that are, some of them are built into the system and some of them are pulled in dynamically over the web to create a system that is really extensible in a way like nothing else has been before in terms of being able to very easily integrate with CRM systems, with Salesforce, with any tool or website that you have in place. We're also seeing all kinds of really interesting applications of Asterisk, even outside of the PBX space, that are being built. For example, we've got a company that's doing integration of Asterisk with eBay so that you can participate in your eBay auctions by phone. That's called an unwired buyer. We've seen an integration of Asterisk in a dairy farm, an extended dairy farm that allows farmers to be able to call and find out how much milk their cows have produced, when their checks are going to arrive, and so on. In many cases, these applications are in such targeted verticals that there really wouldn't have been a way to have done them with a traditional setup. In other words, the cost savings associated with Asterisk and the ease of producing a system like that to target a vertical allows it to be scaled down to businesses that wouldn't have been able to have had technology like this before.
So when it comes to unified communications technology, is ease of use and I guess cost, are those really the two value propositions for an Asterisk-based solution?
Well, there's a little more to it than that. There is the initial cost and usability certainly come in on the front end. But there's this sort of extended usability that has to do with the long tail. That is, as you start looking at more of these verticals, how easy is it for channel partners to be able to develop applications that now not only can you provide something that's at a good cost, but you can provide additional value to the customer that they're willing to pay for. And that really helps the channel be much more successful. And that's where Asterisk and Switchbox are really shining. Is not only is it a very inexpensive PBX, but it's also a platform that you can build upon to deliver solutions to customers and make much more margin as a channel partner and save a lot of money as a customer.
Mm-hmm. So when you're talking about various verticals and adapting to the needs of different verticals, how does an Asterisk solution or something like that help future-proof when you're talking about the changing needs and the developing needs of these different verticals?
Well, because Asterisk is open source, of course, it can be extended by anyone, not just the vendor. And in fact, what we see, of course, is that there's so many people pursuing directions within the Asterisk community that are not necessarily directions that Digium is particularly focused on, but we can facilitate them in reaching there by taking those contributions, reviewing them, and getting them integrated into Asterisk in a consistent architectural way. So even though, as an example, there's a psychic hotline that's using Asterisk so that you can listen to the readings that are going on to other people instead of just hearing hold music. Well, that's obviously not on Digium's roadmap. I don't think it's on Avay's or Nortel's roadmap either in terms of target verticals, but the availability of the source code allowed that solution to be produced for next to nothing and allows it to be sustained going forward, whether or not those changes become part of the final Asterisk product or not.
Are the kinds of applications and features that are being introduced by some of the proprietary vendors, can those be replicated using open source?
Well, open source actually today incorporates virtually all of the traditional proprietary features. I remember when that used to be what the challenge was can you do you have XYZ feature or whatever it was, feature du jour of this old system, because that's how people used to compete. But with open source, the time to get to that feature set was so short that now it's really different. There's not a whole lot of features that are really missing out of Asterisk. It's more the applications that people are starting to develop. So, there are things that we're doing to improve scalability. We're making Asterisk easier to cluster. We've got a new event system in Asterisk. We've got some improvements in video. We've got improvements in security with TLS. Lots of stuff that's kind of coming in there. But most of that is really just sort of additional incremental bits that largely the sort of the big steps, the quantum leaps, are greatly built on the applications that people are actually using Asterisk in.
There's obviously been a considerable growth in the attention and the focus on open source and on Asterisk. Is that going to continue?
Yes, but it may continue in many different ways other than just in the code base. So I actually gave a talk not long ago in which I sort of said that Asterisk can be kind of boring in that, there's only so much conferencing and voicemail and, three-way calling and caller ID and that kind of stuff that you can get excited about. But there's so much market for that. And then beyond that, there are these new technologies that people are developing. There's stuff coming out of NYU. There's, have your plants call you with botanicals. There's Q games where you can have trivia questions that are asked, and if you get the questions right, then you move ahead in the queue, and if you get them wrong, then you move down the queue. Just all kinds of bizarre applications that people are dreaming up on Asterisk. And now, as that mindset, as that way of thinking about building things meets with traditional business processes, now you start to get very exciting new features, new products that are built somewhat within Asterisk and largely on a layer above Asterisk.
So it really is all about the applications.
Right. It really is all about the applications once you move beyond PBX. But there's so much PBX just to be had out there, right? But in terms of the excitement, the things I can get excited about as the technologies are largely above the traditional PBX layer. I mean, even Switchbox is a PBX product,
right?
But it clearly is starting to pull in stuff from all over and integrate with other business processes in a way that is definitely not a traditional PBX method.
What kind of success are you seeing with the Switchbox product?
Oh, Switchbox is the fastest growing subset of our business because it really is, such a leap ahead, and it's in an area that is really, a very high growth area. So it's, all of our business units, knock on wood, are growing, but Switchbox is a particularly exciting business for us.
Excellent, fantastic.
We've been chatting with Mark Spencer from Digium.
Thanks for spending time with us this afternoon.
Eric, thanks for having me on.
Okay, my pleasure. Thank you.